Continental Airlines Arena here in East Rutherford as we continue, as we move on now to 215 pounds, another number 1 versus number 2 matchup. Mike Carr, 36-0, the second seed from Hunterdon Central, takes on Troy Bennett from Paulsboro at 36-0, and Bennett is the top seed in this one. Now, Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central told some of the writers that he's very comfortable coming to the Meadowlands. As you might remember, on CN8 the last few years, he was on the football team that won back-to-back state Central Jersey Group 4 championships for Hunterdon Central. And he says, well, won a couple in football, I'm ready to go in wrestling. And he goes against Troy Bennett from Paulsboro, who's a great football star as a linebacker in his own right. Now, last year, Bennett went all the way to final. He ran into some guy named Damian Hahn at 189 and
that name
lost
sounds
the
familiar.
final. So, redemption time possibly for Troy Bennett, the senior from Paulsboro. He's going to try to close out a great career. As we are set to go for this 215-pound final. Well, the crowd has been great. The wrestling has been great here, Rich Santoro. And like I said, you wrestled here back in the NCAA championships back in 1984. Great crowd and still a great atmosphere for wrestling, even in this gigantic building.
I'll tell you what, it's a great experience. It's really a lot of fun. You know, for a guy that's really here for the first time, it's kind of awe-inspiring, and really, it can really spook you. But you know, you get to this level, and you've been in a lot of big matches. This is just what it's all about. And you want to go out here, and you just want to compete in front of the biggest crowd you can possibly compete in front of.
Carr's got a takedown, very close to the escape. Did he get the neutral? Yes. 2-1 is the score, as Carr has an early takedown, and Bennett has the escape. So it's 2-1. Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central in the red. Bennett in the white singlet, the top seed. And we heard this was going to be another race to the finish between these top 2 seeds. They've been on a collision course all year long, and a lot of people expected they'd get here, and they absolutely did.
Both wrestlers are exchanging shots as they go out of bounds. They'll come back to the center. So far, we've got a pretty good pace for some big guys. They're locking horns in the middle of the mat.
And like so many upper weights, lock up and throw. But each of these wrestlers has a lot of speed for their size, too.
As Bennett is in on a single. Actually, he's trying to get in on a single. Can't get there. Carr pushes him out of bounds, and they'll come back and try it again.
Carr's on his way to the University of Pennsylvania. He'll wrestle for Roger Arena. Wharton School of Business. Scored over 1480 on his SATs.
That's impressive, too.
Can do it on the mat and in the classroom. He might even play football, try to be a 2-sport star down at Penn. Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central.
Little sit-through attempt by Bennett. Couldn't make it work for him as they approach and now go out of bounds.
Bennett, first in District 29, first in Region 8. Carr, a 3-time District 17 champ, and twice he was the champ at Region 5. Yeah, this is the upper crust of New Jersey wrestling right here.
Bennett missing again on a single. Both wrestlers trying to control each other's hands, and they'll go out again. 10 seconds to go, first period.
2-1 the score for Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central. Trying to become the Red Devils' latest champion. Todd Patton won it all back in 1984 at Hunterdon Central, and he was the last champ that storied program has had. All the scoring early, and you'll take a look at it. It came in just the opening seconds as Mike Carr.
Little front head and arm, does a little spin. Is able to beat him around the corner, but Bennett right away. Little turn in, gets his escape. So a nice flurry of activity. Carr goes the optional start. Is able to keep Bennett under control as they go out of bounds.
I don't know if he tried to fake him out there or not, Rich. He looked like he was going optional, then went in and went high crotch and grabbed the leg.
He's going to do that again. See if he releases him, if he jumps right on top of him. Nope, he jumps on top of him.
You don't get caution for that.
Nope. And now there's the neutral.
So we are tied at 2. Bennett's out with 2 escapes. We're tied 2-2, early second period.
Little arm drag attempted by Bennett. Now a shot by Carr as they go out of bounds.
And that's the kind of wrestling I really like to see. Bennett, little arm drag, almost had the knee, missed it. Carr, boom, right back on the other knee.
Well, both of these wrestlers seem to, they have a good feel as soon as someone hits a shot, they come right back with their own. They're not just hitting and stopping. High crotch, front head and arm by Carr. Little try to spin, throw by. Now a spin attempted by Bennett, and these guys are going at it as they go off the mat.
The agility of like about a 112-pounder, but these guys weighed in at 215.
And you wonder why they're good football players.
Yep, you could run off tackle behind these guys. Control the ties, you control the match. That's what Bennett's trying to do right now as he grabs that wrist.
And we have a stall call against Bennett for backing out.
Stall warning. First in a match.
Kind of surprising to see that.
Yeah, I thought so too. But all the activity we've had, I don't think anybody was really taking a break.
Front head and arm now by Carr. Doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with it as Bennett is out of bounds, and they're going to bring him back.
Well, I know that's still a good sign of a good referee. If they're close to the edge and nothing's going to happen, let's bring them back and let them go.
Let him do it in the middle of the mat. Bennett has been warned. He's got to be careful that he circles and not just backs out. Carr trying to get in on a leg. Bennett's able to counter it, takes a shot, and they'll go off. We have 25 seconds left here in the second period. We're all knotted at 2.
We've had a technical fall and a fall in our last 2 bouts. But here we are tied 2-2 at 2:15 between Troy Bennett of Paulsboro, a senior in the white, against the senior Mike Carr in red from Hunterdon Central.
Both guys have really been going at it. Bennett trying to do a little punch by, went out of bounds, and Carr almost slipped behind him for a takedown.
Each wrestler has been able to counter the other's moves effectively and almost turn it into points. The key word there is almost. And they let time expire. Nobody flinches. We go to the third period tied at 2. I don't think it's too early to tell you that if it stays this way, we would have a 2-minute period. If there's no advantage after that, it goes to a 30-second ride-out. It could be the first time that gets invoked today, the way these 2 guys are going. Carr trying to come out to get the escape. He is out, and Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central leads it by a score of 3-2. And I think the intensity is even going to pick up more.
Wow, what a flurry of action. Bennett tried a little shot there, countered by Carr, and then Bennett almost gets the takedown as they go out of bounds. So these guys like to get into their scrambles.
On the left, Steve Gibble, the head coach of Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central. Paul Marina, the head coach at Paulsboro, is Bennett's mentor. And Paulsboro today won the trophy as the #1 team in the state of New Jersey. And it came on the heels of their victory over Phillipsburg earlier this year.
Bennett with an underhook. And around the waist of Carr. Now drops down for a single as they'll go out of bounds.
If I'm correct, I think Phillipsburg defeated Hunterdon Central in a duel this year, 29-28. Kind of shows you that these 2 programs are about even.
Carr in on a single. Bennett does a nice job of getting out of that.
Wow.
Nice showing of balance there.
3-2, Mike Carr, the 2nd seed over Troy Bennett and White from Paulsboro, the top seed here at 215 pounds.
We're down to 1 minute to wrestle here.
Carr with a 1-point lead. Bennett has been warned once for stalling, and Carr continues to force the issue. The only thing here is against an experienced wrestler like Bennett, you don't want to leave yourself open for anything.
He's got to be careful if he's pushing in that way. He's got to be careful he doesn't get shrugged or possibly ducked. There's a shot. Countered with the front head and arm by Carr. Almost spun on him. Carr continues to have that front head and arm, picks up the back leg, spins behind, and he brings Bennett to the mat for a takedown.
Carr leads it 5-2, and he made it happen by grabbing the ankle and not letting Bennett get away, and he was able to pull him back in.
So again, A great flurry by both wrestlers with Carr coming out on top.
That's a huge takedown with 28 seconds to go.
That pretty much ices it for him.
Just can't make a mistake now.
Bennett comes to his feet and Carr will bring him back down to 20 seconds. Carr's just going to hang there. He's not going to do anything stupid. He knows this is his. 14 ticks remaining. Carr leads 5-2. Bennett needs something big.
Bennett from the Group 1 program at Paulsboro. Carr from the Group 4 school at Hunterdon Central.
Side roll by Bennett. Can't work. Carr continues to ride with a one-on-one. And that's going to do it.
Mike Carr from Hunterdon Central with a late takedown and a 5-2 win over Troy Bennett, who goes to the finals for the second straight year in a row, only to come up the silver medalist. Mike Carr, the all-time win leader at Hunterdon Central for a single season, goes to 37-0. And he won 2 championships at the Meadowlands in football and now a championship in wrestling here as well, as he's congratulated by the Hunterdon Central coaching staff.
And that was a real fun match to watch as both wrestlers really went at it, gotten a lot of scrambles. Here you see Carr with the front head arm, reaches around with his left arm, grabs the ankle of Bennett. Bennett gets to his feet, but Carr follows him and brings him down. Nice job of wrestling there. I'll tell you, really staying with it, picking up the points. There's your gold medalist right there.
Hard-fought win over Troy Bennett, an outstanding wrestler in his own right. And for Bennett, his first loss of the year, Carr goes undefeated to 37-0. We only have one more